guys, hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. I just want to share some of the things that are being talked about and discussed regarding the new DCU slate that was announced recently. If you need to get up to date about that, check out my channel for videos talking about the new announcements for shows and movies that were shared by James Gunn and Peter Safran. Specifically today talking about Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is a live-action Batman movie that was announced as part of the upcoming DCU slate, that is going to have Damian Wayne's Robin, who we have never seen in a live-action version of before in a Batman movie. We have seen Robins before, but not in this aspect where he is Bruce's son and he's like, this 14, 15-year-old trained assassin, different from what we have seen in the past regarding live-action Robins. So there are some details regarding not just that, but also other members of the Bat family that James Gunn and Peter Safran have shared that they want to expand on in their upcoming DCU. So this says, Gunn outlined a plan for Batman the Brave and the Bold, adapting Grant Morrison's acclaimed run. He said this is a story of Damian Wayne, who's Batman's actual son that he didn't know existed for the first 8 to 10 years of his life. He was raised as a little murderer and assassin. He's my favorite Robin, James Gunn speaking. We're putting it all together right now. And who is Bruce Wayne this time? Someone new, of course. This is the introduction of the DCU's Batman, Gunn explains. It is not Robert Pattinson and is not Ben Affleck. We're working with Robert on the Batman Part 2 with Matt Reeves, and we're working with Ben Affleck, who has been part of our team trying to bring things together, and he really wants to direct one of our projects. We're excited for him to do that. That has also been a big topic of discussion. Will Ben Affleck end up directing one of the new projects from DCU, or for the DCU? If so, I hope it is something to do with Batman or Deathstroke. I think that would definitely be a highlight for this reboot, the soft reboot that they are doing with DC. And I think that would gain a lot of fans' interest. I think also at this point, it's a little bit hard to take James Gunn at his word because there have been a lot of things that have been backtracked and messy. So I think a lot of fans are having a hard time trusting just what he's saying and are waiting to actually see it happen. So Ben Affleck, I think Ben Affleck directing something in this upcoming universe would definitely be a highlight for a lot of fans that are skeptical about the rebooted slate. And according to Safran, this is going to feature other members of the extended Bat family. He said, just because we feel like they've been left out of the Batman stories in the cinema for far too long. And then, of course, we'll have the Batman Part 2, the sequel to Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's Batman movie, and then Joker is getting the sequel as well. So that is a lot of Batman and Bat family, related content that they're going to have in their DC universe. Even though that will be, those will be Elseworlds projects, but still a lot of, Bat family related things. And Batman Brave and the Bold does currently not have a release date, not publicly anyway. The Batman Part 2 does. So the Batman Part 2 is October 3rd, 2025. So not really sure if they're going to want to put Batman Brave and the Bold before or after that. I'm guessing it would be after, because their Superman Legacy movie is also set for 2025 at this time. So I don't think it would be, it seems like it would make more sense for this Batman Brave and the Bold movie to come after the Batman Part 2. And it is kind of interesting to see, to think about how they're going to differentiate for general audiences. This Elseworlds corner of DC and then the main continuity. Fans that are, like, if you're watching this or if you keep up to date with this kind of thing and we know a little bit more what's going on as far as them having a new, a soft reboot and keeping Robert Pattinson's Batman as a separate thing and, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker separately. We know that, but I wonder how they're going to navigate the general audience knowing that these are two separate things, because Batman Brave and the Bold is obviously going to have a different Bruce Wayne, and it's not going to be Robert Pattinson. So I wonder how they're going to differentiate that for general audiences. But, I guess we'll kind of see how they navigate that moving forward. Now, as far as extended Bat family, I wonder who else they're going to bring in, as who they're going to introduce, who else from the Bat family they're going to introduce. They did make some comments about Peter Safran had said that he felt like they did the right thing with canceling the Batgirl movie because, in his opinion, it would have hurt the DC brand and that it was just not, it would not have been a good choice to release the film. I don't think he's saying anything against the directors or, cast or anything like that, considering that the old regime, their movies were kind of just going downhill in terms of quality, and they were just trying so hard to please the general audience. First it was going to be an HBO Max project, then they're going to put in theaters, and I don't know, you kind of have to question, would it have brought value to DC? And so, maybe that's where the new regime was thinking, like, if this is not going to bring value to the brand, we're not going to release it. I know it was kind of harsh the way they handled it. They probably could have handled it better as far as letting the directors know what their decision was and things of that nature. But under the old regime, I don't doubt that it probably would not have brought any value to the DC brand. And it was kind of random, like the fact that they weren't going to introduce Batgirl in a Batman movie or bring her in a little bit more naturally to the universe. It was kind of just going to be all of a sudden Batgirl has a movie and Michael Keaton is the Batman in it. I know that was supposed to take place after The Flash, so Michael Keaton being in the movie might have made a little bit more sense in that way because of whatever's going to happen at the end of The Flash. But just the fact that she was just all of a sudden going to have her own movie, that, was a little strange. But, in this way, if they bring in other members of the Bat family by way of having a Batman movie first, or Batman Brave and the Bold, then it kind of seems like a little bit more natural way to bring in other members of the Bat family. I think anything that has to do with Batman is going to be of higher interest to the fans and general audiences. Batman is just one of the characters that everyone says Batman prints money. So I do think it will probably be more on the successful side of this new slate. However, I think since Superman Legacy is going to be like their first introduction to their movie universe, I think Superman Legacy is definitely going to set the tone moving forward and how audiences react and how fans react. Unfortunately, since the whole situation with Henry Cavill, I think fans are already kind of not necessarily have formed an opinion about the movie, but it doesn't really have much of an excitement level for the fans right now. I think that is definitely going to be an uphill battle with them, and other things are coming out saying that it's likely that James Gunn is going to end up directing Superman Legacy. He's writing the script. I think as soon as we heard that he was writing the script and Henry Cavill's not going to be the Superman, I'm pretty sure they had probably decided a long time ago that most likely James Gunn will direct. He said, we don't know who's directing yet. I'm pretty sure they have known for a while that they probably, okay, most likely James Gunn is going to direct, but I just feel like they don't want to announce it publicly, in an official capacity, because they know that fans are already upset, disappointed, and not super excited about whatever James Gunn is bringing to the table with Superman, because he said before that he would never want to do a Superman movie and that he likes the more obscure, kind of out there characters, which we have obviously reflects in the things that he has done before, like Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up directing it, and then it's just going to add more fuel to the fire of fans being not interested in Superman, which is really disappointing because they're starting off their universe that way. I don't think they're ever going to have a valid explanation for why Henry Cavill couldn't have his own Elseworlds story and just basically have the Snyderverse as an Elseworlds universe, because Robert Pattinson gets to have an Elseworlds movie or side of his story, and then Joker does. So why not have the Snyderverse things as Elseworld? I just think that I don't know, some people say they don't have the money to do that, whatever. I mean, any Superman movie is going to need a high budget. So there's no way James Gunn is going to make like a low budget Superman movie. I don't see that happening. Pretty much any Superman movie is going to need a pretty healthy budget. I don't doubt that they're going to be bringing in a lot of actors that might not necessarily be household names, especially if they're starting with really young, if they want like this really young Justice League. He did say Batman will probably be a little bit older, which makes sense if Damian Wayne is, you know, around 14 or 15. But they do want like this younger Justice League. So I don't see them bringing in a bunch of household name actors to play all of these roles, especially if they are kind of hurting financially. But, you know, it's just going to be one of these things that we're going to continue to see how it goes and see how things play out. We're about a week away from the Flash trailer, so I think that's definitely going to be the next big topic of discussion, unless anything happens during this week before that. It will be, you know, staying in the loop. So thank you guys for watching. Check out any videos you might have missed recently, including the shorts section. Thank you guys for the support, and we'll see you soon.